Hello there, and welcome to this therapeutic yoga practice for the month of September. And for this practice, we're going to be working with the theme of steadiness. And in honour, really, of what is happening in nature all around us, we're going to be slowing things down. We're going to be finding practices that help us to ground and just mirror really what's happening in nature. There's nothing extra special you need for this practice, although I've got a couple of bricks with me that I like to use. If you have some, grab them, but if not, don't worry about it. We're going to start seated. I'm on a meditation cushion. You don't need to be. You can be sat cross-legged or on a chair if you prefer. But otherwise, just coming to find a seat and just letting yourself wiggle in. This is not going to be a fast-paced practice. It's going to be nice and slow, really to help us just reconnect with our own inner rhythms as well as the rhythms around us. So once you're ready in your seat, the invitation is to close the eyes. If that doesn't feel right, you can just gaze off into the distance. Otherwise, softening those eyes into the sockets and taking a long, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let it all go. And then just really starting to allow the breath to soften and allowing your whole body to really sink into the seat, feeling those sitting bones rooted to the spot, perhaps a sense of evenness through the left and right sitting bone. And over the next breath or two, perhaps you can get a sense of heaviness through the body. So you're using the ground to support your body. And from this place of anchoredness, just allow your awareness now to just move around your body in a curious fashion without getting involved in any judgments if you can. Just noticing what is here in your body today. Perhaps noticing which areas of the body need a bit of extra special attention, a bit of love, a bit of care. And then let's start to deepen the breath, drawing in that breath in through the nose, all the way down to the lower belly. And as you breathe out, just letting any residual tension in the face or the shoulders to dissolve if it's ready. We'll take two more just like that. You might want to bring the hands to the belly and the chest as you do so. Making these couple of breaths full and long and more intentional. And blinking open the eyes, and in a similar way staying with that breath that will reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Clamp the palms together as you breathe out. Push those palms together quite firmly as you draw them down through the middle of the body. We'll take a few more like this. Breathing to rise tall, and then exhaling out to draw us back down. So there's this connection to rising up, but yet being firmly rooted. The next time that you breathe out, we're going to twist towards the right. Left hand can come and plant on the the left knee or leg. And then we'll repeat, breathing in, reaching back towards the ceiling, and exhaling, twisting to the opposite side. Breathing in to rise. We'll take a few more rounds just like this. And as you are moving with your breath, inhaling to rise, exhaling to twist, can you do so while maintaining a real firm connection through your sitting bones to whatever it is that you're sitting on? And the next time you twist to the left, let that be the last one. And then as you breathe back in, reach for the center, and exhaling, float those hands all the way down by the sides. And just start to give your shoulders a little bit of a roll, drawing them up towards the ears, back and down. Taking your time. And then when you're ready, if you've got a cushion, you might want to move that to one side. We're going to come to a child's pose. So let the hips sink back. Take the knees as wide as you like. And come and bow the head down. If the head on the ground doesn't feel good, you can pop your hands underneath your head or rest it on a brick or that cushion. For now, just access that deeper, more conscious breath, breathing in fully, perhaps imagining that you can breathe into your back. Just momentarily feeling the weight of the body on the floor. And then staying as you are, come and bring the hands up onto the fingertips, a bit like spiders. You might be able to creep them forwards a little bit. Lift the elbows up off the mat if they're not. Pause here to again breathe fully and deeply into all parts of the body. Letting those exhales be long and steady. And then you might creep those hands over towards the left side of your mat. Pause there for a breath, keeping the right hip anchored down and away. And then you might like to walk the hands to the opposite side. And then after the next breath, come back to the center. And then we're going to come up to an all fours position. And bring your awareness now to your rib cage. Get nice and anchored through the hands and the knees. And then start to circle your rib cage round. Whichever way, doesn't matter. And as you do this kind of snaky kind of movement, can you press firmly into your hands, knees, shins, tops of the feet? Reverse the direction when you're ready. And then when you're ready, come back to the center. Tuck the toes here and lift to a downward facing dog. Spread the fingers, root the palms of the hands, particularly the base of the index finger, knuckle and the thumb. And then maybe paddle through the feet, really anchoring down through those feet. The heels don't need to be down, but we might want to press them down and away. Have a bend in the knees if that feels best. And think about scooping those sitting bones up towards the back of the, well, whatever's behind you, back of the wall or whatever's there. And take a full breath in, full breath out. And then repeat that another time. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, we'll walk the feet towards the hands, or maybe the hands back towards the feet, whatever feels best. Allow a soft bending through the knees, particularly if there's stuff going on in the back, and then let your head be heavy. If you do suffer from any vertigo or anything like that, you might want to come up halfway and not bring your head all the way down. But if you can, let everything go. Arms dangle, head dangles. Maybe you want to swish a little bit from side to side like I'm doing. Maybe a little nod for yes, a little shake for no. And then feeling really anchored through the heels in particular, and from that place spread the toes. Take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, we'll really slowly roll up to stand. Let your arms continue to be heavy until you get to the top of the mat, or the top of your body rather. Give your shoulders a good roll. Okay. So coming to step to the top of your mat and taking the time to be anchored through the feet, maybe rocking backwards and forwards for a time. Feeling anchored through your heels once again, pressing into the outer edges of your feet. Toes are spread, you're rooted through the base of your big toe, or the ball of your foot. And from here, there's perhaps a little bit of length through the lower back and a drawing up. Your knees they're on. Your legs are on, but they're not locked out. So from here, reach the arms towards the ceiling. Breathe in. Plant the palms together. Breathe out. Taking another. Reaching up towards the ceiling. In long through the body. Palms to touch. Exhale. Bring the hands to the waist. Shift your weight onto your right leg and start to peel the left foot off of the mat. Draw the knee up towards your body, or up towards the ceiling even. And then take that knee out to the side, or turn to the side so you can see, and press the sole of the foot against the leg for your tree pose. And if the hip, if your right hip is really popping out to the side, see if you can squeeze your bum a little bit and lift up through the middle of the body. Okay. So let's take a breath. Option to take the arms up if you want to. I'm going to keep them on my waist for today. Letting any wobbles happen if that's what's happening for you. Perhaps finding a bit of humour around it. And then when you're ready, take a breath in, press down through that standing leg. Bring your left knee back to centre, soften that right knee and step all the way back, coming up onto the ball of your left foot so that we're in a high lunge shape. Breathing in, we'll reach towards the ceiling. And then as you breathe out, we're going to bring the hands all the way down and back as if we're reaching back behind us. And then step your left foot in a little bit so it can fully plant. Straighten your right knee. We're coming for a pyramid pose here. And we're going to hinge forward until our bodies feel about parallel to the mat or the ground. You don't want your legs locked out if you've got extra bendy knees. So you might want to keep a little micro bend there. And this is where if you've got bricks, you might want to have them handy. For some of you, if you want to reach towards the floor and that's accessible in your body, then go for it. I'm going to stay here today. So I'm going to put my bricks to one side. 2 more breaths. And after that next exhalation, we're going to lower the hands to the mat and have a go at stepping back to a downward facing dog ever so briefly. Rippling the chest forwards so that you're in a plank pose, or lowering the knees for half plank. Get back to your breath, take a full breath in. And as you exhale, we'll lower down onto the belly. Move my bricks a little bit. And we'll slide the hands forward so that our forearms are on the mat for Sphinx pose. Forearms are like train tracks. Your elbows are underneath your shoulders. And if you're all kind of hunched in here, what we want to do is anchor the feet, anchor the hips, press the pubic bone into the mat, And then from here, press into your forearms and your hands to lift the chest up as if we're shining our heart forwards, like a headlight. And let's breathe. One more breath. And lowering down, planting the hands just underneath the shoulders there, tucking the toes, and pressing all the way back to a downward facing dog, or just walking straight in to your standing forward fold. That's where we're going to meet anyway, at the top of our mats. Standing forward fold. Let go of the head. Take a breath here. Remind yourself of that anchoring through the heels and the feet. And then when you're ready, take a big breath in and slowly roll up to stand once again. Okay, opposite side. And just notice that tendency to rush into things now that we perhaps know the routine. Still find that anchoring through the feet. And then let it ripple through the rest of the body. This steadiness through the body. Breathing in, we'll reach for the ceiling. Press the palms to touch. Exhale. Take another. Shifting the weight onto the left leg this time. Bringing that right knee up towards you or towards your chest. Staying here or taking it out and planting the sole of the foot somewhere on the leg. Perhaps avoiding the knee. And noticing that hip popping out. See if you can squeeze the bum a little bit. Lift the belly. Lift your chest up. Place your hands or your arms where they want to be, and we breathe. Okay, on the next exhalation as it comes, bring that knee back in and have a go at hinging forwards. Keep a bend in that left knee as you step that right foot back onto the ball of the foot, briefly touching base in a high lunge. Breathing in, we reach for the ceiling. Breathing out, send the arms back, step the right foot in a little bit, straighten off that left knee and bow forwards until you feel parallel. And if you want to take those other variations, bricks or hands on floor, go for it. I'm going to stay as I am. This is one of my favourite poses, and I love a pyramid pose. I find it really empowering and grounding at the same time. Take another breath. And as you exhale, come and plant the hands and walk or step back to a downward facing dog, or maybe you want a little pause somewhere and that's fine. You can find child's pose. Otherwise, shift your weight forwards, shoulders over wrists for plank pose, or lowering the knees for half plank. Take a full juicy breath in and exhale as you lower down onto the mat. Slide the hands forwards so that you find a Sphinx pose. Roll the shoulders back. Press the pubic bone, the hips, the feet, the legs into the mat. And lift that chest. 3 juicy breaths. And on that next exhale, we'll lower back down. Bring the hands just underneath the shoulders. And this time press up and back to a child's pose once again. Wide knees. Lower the head down to the mat or on your hands or a brick. And you could have the arms just softly there, or they could be wrapped around the legs. Just letting this be a little bit softer than before. And as you get there, let's take a few sighing breaths, breathing in through the nose and maybe out through the mouth, reminding us of that sense of connection to the ground. That it's okay, we can let our bodies go from time to time and let the ground hold us. And then when you're ready, slowly coming up and giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll. So we're going to come down onto our backs. Now to get there, if you want to, come create this little shape that I've got here. Reach your arms out in front of you. We're going to roll down really slowly. Feel that connection through your sitting bones and the feet. Take a breath in. And then start to almost tuck your tail under. Keep reaching forward so your back becomes rounded. And see if it's possible. Squeeze that core. Squeeze the ribs together. Keep the feet as connected to the floor as you can until you're all the way down. Walk the feet in and then draw the knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side if that feels good, or maybe circling the knees. And then bringing the feet back down to the mat, we'll walk them as wide as the mat, maybe even a little bit wider. And take the arms either in a T shape or like a, let me move my cushion, or like a cactus shape. And taking a full breath in as you are, and when you're ready, breathing out, just roll over the feet as you take your knees over to the right. Maybe you can gaze over to the left and see if it's possible to just let the legs be heavy here. If it feels uncomfortable, you can rearrange the legs, maybe bring them so that they're stacked. We're just taking a couple of deeper breaths into the belly. At this time of the year, having a bit of a focus on the digestive system can be really helpful because we can get a bit sluggish. And then on the next inhale, we'll bring the knees back to the middle. And exhaling them over to the opposite side. And then breathing in, bring the knees back to the center. And sending the legs long, arms long. And coming to close the eyes. Just a mini moment. Breathing in. And exhaling out through the mouth. Let the body go. Letting the ground support the whole body. Letting the legs go, the arms go, and the belly. And if you can stay here a little bit longer, then please do. But otherwise, just starting to notice how you're feeling. You may want to take a stretch of the arms overhead. And blinking open the eyes. Maybe drawing the knees back into the chest. And in your own time, coming back to a seated position. And maybe just taking a moment to check in with the body. Noticing how you're feeling. Reminding yourself of that connection to the ground, and maybe if there's a point in the next few weeks where things start to get busy, you can remind yourself of this little practice. Just finding some steadiness and some slowness can really help. Blinking open the eyes when you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. I hope it was helpful. If you enjoyed this practice, I would really appreciate you liking this video. Pop in the comments, what was your favourite pose? Obviously mine was pyramid pose. I love that pose. What was yours? And also, if you would like more support with your self-care, particularly self-care that aligns with the seasons, then feel free to check out my membership. The link will be below. All right, take care for now, and I will see you soon.